I know it is not the normal 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern time. I am, in fact, on the East Coast and could not do a live at 7 p.m. today. In fact, I wasn't planning on doing a live at all today, so I'm kind of proud of myself that I'm doing it anyways. For anyone watching this later on replay, this is a live video. The whole point is for me to be able to chit chat with people, answer questions in a live setting. It's a bit slower and there's more talking, chit chat, etc. So if that's not your kind of video, feel free to not watch. I've got plenty of videos that are just straight up tutorials without all the extra chit chat. If you are here to watch live or want to watch the live on replay and you know what you're getting into, that's totally cool. Say hi in the chat box and let me know where you're watching from. If you have a username, you might want to tell me your real name. Otherwise, I'm just going to be like, hi, because I don't know who you are. Anyways, let me get this pulled up on my computer and then we will get started. And we're just going to do a couple of pretty fast resin projects, so nothing super extensive today. There we go. Got you pulled up. And I'm using materials I don't particularly normally use. Now I'm assuming your name is Susan, so hi Susan. I'm using some mica powders. I don't even know what brand this is. It literally just says mica powder. So I assume it's just something pretty inexpensive from Amazon. Hey Trisha. Hey Linda. And then I am also using the Alumilite White Resin Dye, my favorite because it's nice and opaque. I'm using Mixed Media Girl Artist Resin. I've already got it mixed up, just the resin itself. So I'm going to mix up my colors now, and that will save you guys the kind of boring part, I suppose. I've got just these little cups. Not what I usually use, but it'll do. Got to kind of use what I have here to work with. And I have no idea the opacity or translucency or whatever of these colors, so we're just winging it. I am using that white though because I know it's opaque. Sometimes y'all think I use too much white. That's okay. You are always free to use any colors that you want to use in your own projects. So I have this other cup that I was just using white in, so I'm just going to use that one so I don't dirty up another cup. And I've got a little bit of clear left, that's fine. Hi Michelle. Good to see you here. John King, hello. All right, let's start with the Alumilite. So I really only need about a drop of this in here. I didn't really check if this bottle was open. There we go. And get that mixed up. I filled up these containers just a little too full, I think. So I gotta be careful. And I'm going to be doing a dirty pour into this bowl, which I haven't done in actually a minute. And I was looking through some older videos and saw one and was like, ooh, I really like how that comes out. All right, this is actually a little transparent. I think I probably need one more drop in here. I'm not even sure a whole drop came out. It was a little hard to see because there were some air bubbles. So I think it might have just been mainly an air bubble that came out in there. All right, let's try that. So guys, don't forget to thumbs up the video if you're at least semi-enjoying yourself. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already done so. Everything and anything helps. I am just getting back to doing these YouTube lives for the first time after the fire. So this is my third one this year, basically. Just pretty exciting to me. Okay. So I, again, don't know where these are from, and I don't know the color. It doesn't even have a color name on here. So this is some pinky color. Hello. And I'm just going to put a nice scoop full of that in here. And then I have a light blue. But again, don't have a clue what it's called, so don't ask. put a nice scoop of that in here. And then I've got this kind of teal color. So it's a green, well, it could be like an emerald color. That seems a little more on the teal side to me, but. Try not to make too much of a mess, but I did fill these up a little bit full, so that was probably not the wisest. It's gonna go on the table a little bit. And the last color I'm gonna use is a gold. You guys know I love gold. So I'm gonna put that one in the last one in just a minute. But first, let's get these guys mixed up carefully. Try not to spill too much. So let's do a quick roll call in the chat box. Where are you guys watching from? I am currently in Largo, Florida, but I live in Los Angeles, California, so that's where you'll see most of my videos from. And I know a bunch of you were just on Facebook with me. Largo, Florida, yeah. You're still in Largo? You haven't left yet? I got some dried powder over here. That was not good. Can you use the same techniques used for acrylic pour, funnel pour? Yes, absolutely. But keep in mind with resin that they will blend a lot more and they're not going to necessarily have the same outcomes. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, you technically could do really any of the same techniques. It's just going to come out different. From Minnesota, from New Mexico, welcome, welcome. We're pretty spread out across the U.S. so far here. Any internationals? Illinois, VA, welcome, welcome. Ooh, I'm liking this blue. That's pretty. Not super vibrant, but just pretty. Ah, there we go. Hey, Rhonda from Australia. Good to see you here. Okay. And then this is this pinky color. Like almost like a plum. Sydney, Australia in the house. Santa Cruz. Woo! California. All right, and lastly, we need the gold, which I had to grab another stick for real quick. Without hitting the tripod, I'm going to just use the back of this other stick that I was using earlier. Waste not, want not. And I think these colors will look really pretty. It's a little more pinky than a Merlot. Merlot's typically a little more on the reddish purple side. This is a little more pinky purple. But yeah, definitely the same family basically of colors, but I wonder if it comes through darker through the screen or something. Either way, same vein of colors basically. And this is just a pretty basic gold. Oh, I'm trying to go really slow because I filled these up pretty full. All right. There we go. Just mix it just a little more and I think we're ready to go. Okay, so I have a bit more clear in here. I plan on using this to do my dirty pour, this specific cup. Again, don't really need to dirty another cup. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill up some of these colors a little bit more now that the color has actually been mixed in. It'll be easier to add some resin without getting it all over the place. Hello again. Welcome. And then it doesn't really matter if there's a little bit of clear left in there. It's going to be fine. All right. Sorry, guys. The mixing process is probably not the most exciting part, but trying to go fast. And as always, it's like kind of weird working in a space that's not your own with a setup that's a little different. And I've got the tripod right next to me, so I'm trying so hard not to bang into it. So forgive me if this is a slightly more awkward than usual live. I feel like my lives are always awkward, but I think this one's a little more awkward than usual. I'm off of Ulmerton. So I have no idea where you are. I'm not as familiar with the area to know all the street names, but okay. So we're going to do this as a dirty pour. So that means I'm going to pour all of the colors together into one cup. And I'm going to pour pretty slowly down the side because we don't want to get those colors mixed just yet. We want to just layer them. Hopefully I didn't leave too much clear in there, but I guess we'll find out. So I'm going to go, I think, gold, this pinky kind of color, and then the blue, and then the green. And that should be a pretty good order, I think. I guess we'll find out. Looks pretty. I'll go back to white. And at the end here, I might actually take a stick and scrape all the colors out so we get every single little bit of the resin. Okay. All right, gold, then the pinky purple color. Again, I'm gonna scrape the rest out. All right, I do not like these little cups for future reference. They are too flimsy, and you certainly would not be able to use these again. So they're definitely one-time use. Okay, blue. Does anyone else have Christmas music stuck in their head right now? Because I really do. I'm trying not to sing it because I don't want to get any like copyright strikes or nothing. There we go. Hello from Austin, Texas. Welcome, welcome. Okay, and I've got a little more white to scrape out here. And then that's it, we're good to go. Okay, so I'm gonna do this in my irregular bowl mold, one of my favorites. I pretty much love everything and anything that I make with this mold. Highly, highly, highly recommend it. 10 stars out of 10. Yeah. Oh, good to know. The handle portion makes a better spout. All right, so I'm going to spritz this with 91% isopropyl alcohol, and that's going to help with the air bubbles because we've got little parts that this is going to go down. Hey, Audra from Florida. Welcome. And then we're just going to pour. Oh, look at that rich color. Ooh. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Uh-oh. I poured a little too fast. Let's let it go down. Oh, no. I got all excited because those colors are so pretty. Okay, let's let it go down for a bit. It's fun to watch those air bubbles come up, I gotta say. One of the best parts. Okay, let's pour a little bit more. Not too fast. Yeah, I feel like it's going to be pretty blended, but you can also see down the side. I'll try to do it like a side view in a second, because you can definitely see all the different colors. But it's going to be more blended than it looks initially, especially since these are all micas and they're all fairly translucent, I can tell already. You want to do this? You definitely should. Ooh, more gold. Here comes some of the white. Yeah, this is a bowl mold. And you gotta be patient so all those air bubbles can come up. How do you know what to put together? What do you mean exactly? Like what materials to use or what colors to use together? Or I do have many tutorials. This isn't like a full tutorial necessarily. It's just a live video, but I have many like start to finish tutorials on all kinds of different projects. So I would definitely check those out. I do also have courses on my website, mixedmediagirl.com, if you want to take a full-on course, including some resin beginner courses. All right, so I'm just going to put just a little more in here. And then I'm going to look around and find a little mold to use the little bit that's left in here, because it's not enough to do really another full project. This is Mixed Media Girl Artist Resin. So give me a second. I saw some small molds around here. This may not be what I want. Well then, I may have to look around after the video and find a mold to put this in. I'm sure there are some. Oh, hold on. I think I just found some. Sorry. One second. Again, I'm not in my studio, so I don't really know exactly where everything is right off the top of my head. And I want just a little mold, ideally. Ooh, that's a fun one. Ooh, that's a fun one. All right, we're gonna take a quick vote. I've never done either of these molds. Okay, this one looks like, not totally sure, a dragon, an alligator, I think a dragon of some kind. So I've got this one, or a cute teddy bear. And I'm not sure if it'll completely fill in either of these. Thank you, John. Appreciate ya. What project do you recommend for a beginner? I recommend just a flat board and just playing around. Oh, it's an axolotl. Oh, thanks. I recommend just playing around with it on a flat board to get really used to it. And then you can start with some simple molds, like maybe coaster molds. Definitely don't try to start off with something like a resin bloom from the get-go or teddy bear. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Hopefully I have enough resin. I think so. We'll find out. If not, I might mix up just a tiny bit more and throw it in there. Okay, let's carefully move this to the side. And I'm going to spritz it with a tiny bit of the alcohol again. And then let's just start off by pouring it here. And I'm going to set my resin jug here to hold it up so it can just kind of drain into there. Hopefully that works. I'll be here to protect it in case it falls. All right. Maybe I'll try to do one of the axolotls tomorrow. I might have a little downtime. It is cute, I could tell. And I will post dry pictures of these on my YouTube tomorrow in the little like community chat area. Yeah, I fear I might need a little more for this bear because he's only about half full. Oopsie daisies. Any other questions? I'm probably going to do that after this video, I think. Unless, do you guys want to see me mix resin? Because I totally can. And maybe I'll just do a solid color for the bottom. Like, probably the blue, I think, would look pretty. So let me know if you guys want to see me mix some more resin. I'm probably going to just do it in the same cup, so whatever color comes out of there will be interesting. Otherwise, I'll just do it after the video. Going once, going twice. Okay. I'll just do it after the video. All right, guys. Any last minute be glad to see it? Oh, sure. Okay. All right. Fine. Let's do it. Okay, so first I am going to scrape out any excess from this cup so that we can just get that. And then I'm probably only going to mix, I think, about another ounce is all I'll need for this. Trying to be very careful and not blend the colors as much as possible, but it's going to kind of happen a little bit automatically. I'm kind of excited. I've never done one of these before. I have seen a few other people do it, and I thought I should get that mold, but it just hasn't happened. Okay. No worries. All right, so I start off with part B, which is the hardener, because it is the thinner of the two. I think I am going to have to do about 2 ounces here because there's no half ounce marks on these cups, unfortunately. So I'm going to do just 1 and 1. So start off with part B, then part A. I do recommend that you mix your resin ahead of time. I'm sorry. I do recommend that you heat your resin ahead of time, especially if it's cold. And you can do that by placing the bottles in front of a space heater for a few minutes, sometimes up to like 10 minutes. You don't want to do it too long because you can absolutely overheat your resin and then it can flash cure, which means it cures very quickly and it heats up very fast basically. And you do not want that. It's really hard to use it at that point. Okay. What are the big pouring differences between acrylic and resin? That's hard to answer. That's like saying, what's the differences between chocolate and applesauce? There's a lot of differences. First of all, resin, you have a work time with it. Acrylic, you don't particularly have a work time. I mean, technically, yes, there is a work time, but it's extremely long. Resin needs to be mixed to even work. Acrylic, you can typically just go. I mean, acrylic pouring paint, I'm assuming we're really talking about, not acrylic by itself. Acrylic is dry to the touch, typically within 1 to 3 days. Resin is pretty much always 24 hours. Hey. Resin blends a lot more than acrylic. Acrylic you can keep very separate. So, I mean, there's about a bazillion different differences. Yeah, they're quite different materials. In terms of like techniques, you could probably do the same techniques with a lot of them, but they're going to have very different results. So obviously I use the same cup, so this got a little bit of that golden kind of color in here. And I'm going to add some of the blue. I think will be pretty. well, we'll probably end up with kind of a green color because of the little bit of gold that's in there. And again, sorry, but I don't know the brand of these micas or the specific color names because they don't say. And I'm just using my friend's colorants right now. Oh, that actually came out more blue than I thought it would. Okay, let's finish filling this little guy up. Have any of you used this teddy bear mold before? It seems like it's super cute. I mean, I guess I'm also kind of like, what would you do with it? I guess it could be a keychain, maybe, but it seems a little bit big for that. Or just give it to a kid and it can be a cute tchotchke. All right, so I'm pouring this kind of slowly because I want it to sort of mix into those colors a little bit and not just be a totally separate layer. All right, there we go. So I'll let that sit for a little bit, let air bubbles come up, and then I like to spritz it with the 91% isopropyl alcohol. That'll get rid of any air bubbles. I'm gonna do that with my bowl over here. And then otherwise, that's it. We just leave it till tomorrow. By tomorrow, it'll be cured. I'll be able to demold these, and then I'll take some pictures and share them with you guys in the community page or the chats. I'm not sure what it's called totally, to be honest, but I hope you guys know what I mean. It should show up in your feed as long as you're, of course, following me on YouTube. And any questions before I end off for the day? And in case anyone doesn't know, I am moving my product line to Florida. So there's somebody else that's going to be doing the shipping here. They're going to be running the product line. I am no longer going to be doing so. I will obviously still be using my products because I made them and I really believe in them and I think they definitely are the best. But I will no longer be doing the actual stocking and shipping of it. It'll be done from Florida. So hopefully you guys follow me on Facebook. It's where I'm giving the most updates about that, as well as on my newsletter list, which you can sign up for on the bottom of my website if you haven't yet done so. But right now we have molds in stock. We have pouring tools in stock, and then we have resin colorants, and chameleon powder coming by Monday. And then we have paint coming by right after Christmas, basically. Okay. So check that out, mixedmediagirl.com, and I've got courses on everything as well. So thank you guys so much for joining me, and I will see you all next time.